Um, yeah. Today, episode 4, we decided that the goats are going to lock horns together and bring you forth this out of the box episode in a way that it's like 3-dimensional. It's us with you at home and how you're feeling and what are your thoughts of like what's going to happen in the future, or where is it going from here? Because since the pandemic started, it's like, especially if you're doing things that are considered non-essential now, especially if it's like entertainment wise, where do we go from here? When would the corona stop? Is it when people take vaccination before they're able to go to festivals? Because that's a whole stream of income like down the drain if that's not addressed. And not just that, a lot of things that have to do with people going outside, which is like, if you're trying to drive us into a virtual reality, just say it. And the only people who got the passports are people who are vaccinated, because this is one vaccination I'm not too enthused about. I mean, it's a very sensitive topic, and not a lot of people like to talk about it or touch it when it's like to get vaccinated, not to get vaccinated. And the funny thing is, I've seen a lot of health workers in objection to the vaccination. So what's the fight about? Agent T, I'll let you go forward with that.
man, you said a whole lot, bro. Yeah, but all you're saying is all facts. So it's like, where, how long, man? That's the question. Like,
how long?
But man, I see people say 2021, like tours, like artists say tours 2020. They've already put the poster. So in that case, I guess it's just them being like either ways. You understand? Yeah. Like I saw The Weeknd, he put out his tour for 20. He's rescheduled his tour for 2021. So definitely things will still be happening. But I guess it's just this. It's just the whole new. Everybody would have the face mask on, and the vaccine shots. You must get your vaccine shots because I see a lot of people getting the vaccines now, even like students. Everybody else. So,
wow.
But even with that too, it's definitely going to like take a lot of time to, even with all that. Like this whole year, definitely. Did I say 20? I mean, wait. The Weekend store is actually 2022.
Oh,
yeah. I that was a mistake. It was supposed to happen 2020, but now it's 2022.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it, because we're in 2020.
In a year's time.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just like that. At that case, it's like fuck it. Either whatever it will be at that point, people will still go on top. People will still do it. Even as we speak, some people are doing shows. They are doing shows in clubs and all that. So, some things is still going down, but it's controlled, and in some places,
I do not really know how to feel. On the one hand, it's like a very touchy subject because it's health issues, it's real people going through these real health issues, and it's like all the conspiracies, all the stories, or whatever. Like it's been if it's just like we're just unreasonably afraid, then that would be like okay, cool, but we all know the results of the syphilis vaccination in the 1930s or 1940s or something like that.
South America
and
in some places. Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
Yeah, and we saw what happened.
Yeah, I've forgotten the name is Operation something, but yeah, it's always like that.
And when these people are actually upfront telling us that this vaccination is not preventive or definitively preventive for corona, because there are different strains. How can you vaccinate for a disease that has 400 different strains?
And we know. Yeah, every time new strains coming out, we know how long.
Mutating.
Normally, it takes really long to even come up with a vaccine. Like, I think close to 10 years, if not even more, and all that. But yeah, man. And when they say this virus was created in a lab, like, I feel like it was really designed, like Like they really settled that. I don't know if because what they say is that it broke out by mistake, though they were designing it, they were making the virus in the lab, and based on like
Whose mistake was it that it broke out?
it's the people in Wuhan, I guess. I don't know.
Are they
The
people? Are these people
in
still
the lab.
free?
Yeah, of course. I don't know, but it's still like it's what everybody says, but I don't think there's any real like I don't think anybody can really hold them accountable and stuff.
So
but,
nobody's held that a virus that's supposed
why would
to
they even be designing the virus in the first place? Definitely to let it out. They won't design it to keep it. You understand?
like why design stuff when there are so many cures people who should be getting and there's a lot of focus to be why can't you cure the HIV virus or some other virus? Why do you have to?
It might be to control world population because many of these elites they believe the earth is getting overpopulated, that the earth cannot take the amount of humans, and maybe that's why some people like Elon Musk wants to move to Mars, and but trust me, believe me when like them some elites really they try and control the population with all this kind of it could be with virus, with food, on some eugenics kind of stuff, different ways, but yeah, man, this corona is definitely one for the ages, one for the history books. Even they had the Spanish flu, and I don't think it lasted this long, and it was this crazy. That's how this corona might really have been designed, just to like.
But the funny thing is,
fuck the masses, they fuck everybody up probably.
But the funny thing, the mortality rate is still actually quite not high. Spanish flu was killing healthy young people.
Yeah.
This is just designed to, I wouldn't want to say eliminate the weak, but the immunocompromised.
Yeah, and old people. That's true, actually. That's mostly what it does. It does.
Yeah, I know a lot of, like, quite a few young people who've, fallen casualty to the virus, but the majority of the cases, older people or immunocompromised people. So you wonder like what the target market for the virus was in the first place. I call it a market because they made it open season on people, and the truth about this matter is it could have been controlled from China. China could have locked down.
And they didn't tell anybody. Well, they did just some foul stuff.
And nobody's held accountable for all that.
Yeah, but you've heard of the kind of stuff going on. I heard they are attacking the Chinese now in places like US, Like, I don't know if you've not even heard of that. That's another backward. It doesn't help.
It
doesn't help.
Mr. Yin that owns a Chow Mein store in Detroit. What does that have to do with people making decisions in high places in China? And we just, like, human beings are always backwards, and it's such a shame that our own species is setting us back.
Yeah, and we're supposed to be evolving. They're targeting the old ones that can't even like fight back. Not like they are targeting the young.
That's some weak shit, bro.
Some weak shit. It's kind of xenophobic, actually.
That's always like what people do to people who aren't or who don't necessarily look like they're from around a certain place, and if there's a bunch of black people into that shit, shame on you niggas too.
Yeah,
because man, that's weak as shit, bro.
Yeah, man, bro. Well, that's just it on the corona thing, I guess.
Yeah, let's talk more about some.
Okay, did you see this whole stuff with Kobe when Meek had this line about Chopper going out with his chopper? Say if he goes out with his chopper, be another Kobe, and everybody online is roasting Meek. But what we saw Vanessa Bryant also came out and she was like she doesn't know Meek or know any of his song, but she doesn't feel good with that line. But I feel like, because I don't feel the line was disrespectful.
Yeah, like
this is hip hop, and
people have to understand.
Kobe was like a guy in hip hop, but I feel Meek didn't really like. It shows Meek doesn't really have like high emotional IQ, like to consider the feelings of Vanessa and all those people. But if Vanessa was kind of, I didn't really expect her to take it like offensive, but she took offense to it, and I feel another thing wrong is the timing.
Timing. That's just the only thing in the part of Meek was the timing. But you have to understand what is called poetic license. That's the only reason you enjoy music. Because people are allowed to affect your emotions. It's just like the timing. If it was just too fresh for you to start.
Yeah, if he did this like
oh my
the
God.
next year probably.
Not even the next year, bro. You have to let that thing be like maybe in an anniversary type year, you know, you drop a Kobe line that might be, you know, people have a little bit more.
Yeah, but the internet is really taking it.
Still sore.
I feel like they are taking it to like this cancel culture is at the all-time high right now. Everybody's getting canceled for any, you know, everybody's just going at me. But like I said, it's not disrespectful is what 6ix9ine is doing with King Von. Rest in peace, like PISS peace kind of. You understand? But I don't know, man. Like 6ix9ine is really is probably one of the worst. Like in the music industry, it's like I don't know if I'll compare him to Hitler. He's like one of the worst humans we've seen. Making videos, talking, and
Hitler at least had a little bit of courage to take on the world. He's just too pussy. You don't even need. The feds is your bodyguard. You don't need no like.
For real, exactly.
6ix9ine is a federal agent.
He knows he knows he's protected by the federalists. That's why because if you watch the video, he was talking about his chain. He was talking to every drug dealer, every scammer, every gangster, every rapper. You know, he was just calling out.
Yeah, why not call out the feds, bro?
Yeah,
if you really bad, call out the feds, bro. Bro,
he knows he got
call out the DA, bro.
Immunity. Yeah, man. Like. He went quiet for so long. The guy is just a clout magnet. He just likes after that Make Milk stuff. I knew he was going to drop his song, and he dropped his song.
If you think you're the Spanish Benny Siegel, call out the DA, bro. Call out the feds, bro.
He ain't no Benny Siegel. That nigga is just he's a scam. And you know, I don't know. His downfall is definitely his demise will definitely be televised. We'll all see when. It has already happened, and you know now he's trying to come up, and you know
it doesn't end well for anybody like that.
Yeah, he went to jail. His life has really been up down. I don't know, man.
Bobby Schmurda got eight from the feds. Is it 8 or even more?
6. I think it's 6.
Yeah. 6. But I think that he went for 8.
Yeah. And
after all that, we're still talking about Bobby Schmurda. I think 6ix9ine has 6 years of us talking about 6ix9ine.
For real. Like
that narrative gets old. It has to do something wilder than being locked up by the feds again.
Yeah, man. I feel like everybody is definitely waiting for that Bobby Schmurda. But I see Quavo. They say Quavo into pick. I don't know. If he's
really
I feel like Quavo, because like when Kodak came out of jail, I see him and Lilnity. It felt like Lilnity was riding that whole Kodak. You know, when you come out of jail, hot, everybody will stream you and stuff. So now with Quavo hanging out with Schmurda, I'm sure they will have won a record. Probably, I don't know, but this is just me projecting. But maybe they are just chilling because they are still good homies too, bro. That happens, man. His price is definitely up
right now. Yeah, he's hot. Yeah, he's like the new Gucci Mane.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he better drop some very, very hard. He needs to hit up CJ for that new work. CJ making that noise. Speaking of CJ, man, there are a couple albums. You know, Agent on the last episode, Agent was talking about who is gonna give us that juice, like some new stuff. Who's coming with the albums? Who's trying to take that #1 spot this weekend? And I don't know, man. What are your thoughts?
Last time I checked, #1 was, I think it's Ariana Grande, Megan, and Doja with 30 plus, 30 something plus something. So one pop song like that.
Okay, what about the albums? Who's sitting top there? He's not really.
I don't know who really dropped. I'm always forgetting who. Oh, Kevin Gates dropped an album.
Yeah,
I don't know if
CJ dropped, right?
Yeah, I think CJ
dropped. Yeah. Drop something.
CJ is another person I'm always seeing headlines. They are calling him the new Tekashi boy in the sense that he's not really gangster, but he just they say he's like a fake gangster, he's a fake blood and all that, just banging pyro, but he ain't really with the shit. But many people in the industry are like that.
What was really being with the shit with it? CJ doesn't need to kill anybody to prove to guys he can sing. I don't know this I don't know what you call it, poor people mentality or this. You have to attach you to being violent. Yeah, we all know that 90% of the niggas who talk violence aren't violent.
That's
Them violent niggas be in and out of jail, you know them. You don't even give them that respect because you think like, man, they're going too much of it and they're not dropping music. Just enjoy the music and move on, bro.
man.
If a rapper tells you go kill your mama, you gonna kill your mama, bro.
Nah, man. I feel like the rapper with everybody we should really be looking up to is my goats, the goats, Jigga Man, man. 'Cause
Yeah.
that nigga, you know, think of the fact that he was when he became a billionaire, I think he was the 5th black person to become
In the
billionaire
US,
in
yeah.
US. Like it's a big like achievement, and not to talk of someone who is like a rapper, who was a rapper. It just shows, shows a lot like this music stuff, you know. From there you can spread out your branches and
Yeah, if you're really smart, that's what you should be doing.
yeah, see Rihanna now, and this deal is with Bernard Arnault, because last episode I talked about Bernard Arnault, Louis V, Hennessy, the owner. This is the 3rd richest man in the world. You know, is that those connections? I'm sure it was the one who introduced Rihanna and Kanye to Bernard Arnault and all that shit. You know,
Yeah.
But that's what it's all about, man. You know, making businesses. You know, sometimes selling it. You know, so that's just what it is.
There's something people don't understand about music. There's different facets to this.
For real, it's not just
being an artist and being a career musician are 2 different things. Being an artist depends on yourself, on what you can create and what you can come up with. But being a musician is a whole different ball game. It's solely dependent on the people who are supposed to enjoy this music. So you have to understand that when things aren't dependent on you, you have to try and do more of things that you can control. So when the music gives you this bread and everybody loves you, you have to make sure this bread, you spend it on loving yourself. Build businesses, bro. Do more things that you can control, or at least if you can't control everything, you can have an element of control. And if shit's gonna hit the fan, you can have foresight to, you know, it has value that you can sell and you still manage and still don't have to beg another person for money. Because when you're spending it all on them chains and no, by all means, buy your bling, get yourself iced up and shit like that. You earned it, you deserve it, it's your right.
Yeah.
But at the expense of what, bro?
For real, like music here, man, is like music is like a gateway to so many other, like even someone like Mark Wahlberg, Marky Mark, he was a rapper before.
Yeah,
But now he's like one of the biggest Hollywood superstars, you know, that kind
and
of.
that's what the story of Snoop Dogg too. The longevity of like his music made him, you know, movies and shows.
He's
and
even a commentator.
Exactly.
Side comment, because I heard someone was trying to give him a deal for to be a commentator after the boxing stuff he did, like the commentary he did. Yeah, man, like, you know, that the truth is that art is creativity. So that creativity, it just has to spill into other stuff.
Yeah.
For real, man. Yeah, you can't just do one stuff, you know, it can't be one
It has to be multifaceted. That's the only way you survive. Because even in the music itself, you have to be able to touch a bit more branches. Because nobody wants to hear you on that same beat. And there are so many greats, people who've owned summers, like 2 summers, 3 summers, up to 5 summers. And it's like there are still people who, you get 1 summer in like 3 or 4 summers, but they're still here for like 20, 25 years, and that longevity is key, the key. The long game is all that. That's why people pay for catalogs, because they know catalog is over ups and downs, and you understand. So
yeah, man, for real, longevity.
Especially if you're trying to be Jigga, 13 platinum albums or
13 number
ones, yeah.
The most for a solo artist. The only person higher is the Beatles, which is a group arguably the greatest group of all time. It's just, I don't know, it's great, man. It's some greatness.
It doesn't matter how you do it, get it done.
Hip hop has really come a long way, and hip hop is just 40 something. I don't know, maybe 46 or 47.
Yeah.
It's a very young genre compared to many other genres, and it's something that started in a house party,
Let's hope it stays black, because I see.
We know what happened with other genres.
We're not trying to gatekeep or nothing, but like niggas just come and they take this and then history writes itself. We've seen it happen before, and
we space them.
and it can happen again.
That's why I always watch out for the shady white boy Eminem. You know?
Bro.
But Eminem is, feel like Eminem is true. He's like, he tries. I don't know who he's behind closed door, but at least he's not 6ix9ine. You know, he will not say the N word and be like fuck it. Like I remember when they asked 6ix9ine about saying the N word, was like fuck it. If you don't like it, that's how I grew up. He grew up around niggas. You know, he just being the scum that he is. You know. That Eminem might rap bullshit if you beef him, but we will not see him do that kind of, you know.
The feds are enabling him, so
Yeah, for real, man.
you could say stuff like that and think you can get away with it. But when you live with those type of stuff, you could die by those type of stuff. The feds is nobody. They're only for your friend when they need you and when they can use you. Yeah.
Speaking of the feds, you see, they say El Chapo's wife, they like they arrested her, you know.
It was only a matter of time, wasn't it?
Yeah, but you know, man. Funny thing is, like El Chapo is there. I was watching one stuff. Like El Chapo is not even really the top. There are some top bosses we don't even know their names.
Yeah.
And you know, Mexico is a country run by the cartel. It's not even run by the government. You know. Well, yeah, man. That's just one of them things, man.
I mean, you need this is an ecosystem, and people seem to forget that the world is an ecosystem. Sometimes the good enable the bad so that the bad can coexist. If everything is good, then it disrupts the balance of their ecosystem. And you have to look at this ecosystem. It's an ecosystem that requires you to have a passport. It's an ecosystem that requires you to have national identification cards. It's an ecosystem that requires you to have driver's license. It's an ecosystem that requires you to get vaccinated. It's an ecosystem that requires you to do stuff to their whim. And anytime you don't want to, if you don't, I'm not really comfortable with this. It's like you're disrupting their ecosystem and stuff like that. So for good to exist, that bad has to exist. That cartels has to be enabled, because, I mean, what's a cartel that people can't, come together? Lawyer for.
Honestly, though, I don't think there would be anything wrong if the cartel were just doing the drugs distribution, but sometimes these cartels, they kidnap and do some crazy, to innocent people. So that's the only cool part I feel that is not cool, you know. But apart from that, they're making that underground stuff. Come on, like, the game is the system. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's being enabled, and that's why they could do stuff like that. They could kidnap, they could rape, they could maim, they could do all that, because they are a system enabled, and it is what it is. Like, for there to be NDLA, or what was their drug law enforcement, there has to be drugs out in the streets.
Exactly.
So if the drugs ain't there, what are you cleaning up? How many thousands of officers are going to be unemployed? Yeah. So when you facilitate the drugs, and then people are high on drugs and they commit crimes, and the ecosystem keeps. You create the crime, and then for law enforcement to clean up. Because if you create this utopia, it's like everybody has to be farmers, and I don't know how many people are comfortable with that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. If you don't, maybe I come off too much like what they call it, conspiracy theorist. But if you think what I'm saying is wrong, just calm your head down a little bit and see it from a different perspective.
True.
And ask yourself, what can I do in my worst day? Those people in the position of authority, and people who put people in the position of authority, like, what do you think they might want to do on a whim, all that power and authority that is up to them? And consider yourself in your worst day, and consider them in the worst day, and them maybe having like a temper or like an attitude problem, and maybe they have like a lot of worst days, and consider what they could do and cover up, because everybody has the same elements of fear, of joy, sadness, sorrow, whatever. So yeah. Maybe I was trying to go. I'm digging too deep with that. So let's talk about some challenge or something.
Yeah, boy. You saw Tiger Woods almost lost his life. I saw that. I just remember that.
Wow.
Yeah. Serious car accident or something. Yeah, but that's that.
Does it have to do with anything like the ice that keeps making niggas cars kids like crazy?
Oh no, that's true. No, that Texas ice stuff. Really.
Yeah, it's like people are getting burnt up 1 second, and the next thing people don't have any water and everywhere is frozen.
Yeah, but you know the funny part, that's the normal Nigerian life. That's the apart from the ice part, the no power and no one. Yeah. And you know, I just saw some people, they were crying, you know, some white girls and all that.
Sorry for being
I'm not trying. Yeah, that's what it comes. But I'm just saying, like,
these are people's reality.
Like, reality. They're not used to that lifestyle.
I get
like a Nigerian who grew up in Nigeria, in that case, would definitely feel. Will not feel.
Yeah, you saw
just remember.
You saw this video, people shouting up Nepal. Because that's what you grow up on. You grow up on. When you get your basic amenities and utilities, and it feels like they are doing you a favor. And I notice it's mostly in like black-run country, people really, they try to not only take advantage of it, they feel this sense of entitlement in the sense that, I try not to bring in some personal shit to make shit weird in the podcast, but, you know, suffering and putting people through suffering it's not okay. It's not something that is acceptable. And so the best way to approach it is not being overly like emotional about it, is to try and keep a level head and look for solutions. And by looking for solutions, it don't mean, you know, freaking out and being overly how do I put it now? And not being basically just emotional. Not being overly emotional and not being triggered and not trying to you know, lash out basically.
Yeah, because that's not the best.
Yeah, you're not trying to milk no cow. You just, you know, look for alternatives. And when we have one thing and you focused on something so much, and it's like you can't see past that thing, it puts us in a box. And it's like if that thing is not, if you don't get any returns from that right now or something, you feel like that nothing else can work, nothing can happen and stuff. Like you put yourself in this box, and you know, focusing on too many things may not be healthy either. But focusing on one thing too much, like, you can give momentary hyper focus to things, but you know, have to bring your head out of it so you can see with different perspective. That's what I feel.
But I hope things get better in Texas and all that. And I hear people like it's a proof of global warming and stuff. So that's what everybody's saying. Like
everything is so cold and everything is so hot. Like,
well, me, I'm not really a fan of the snow and all that. So, you know.
Yeah, man, I could barely survive with the wind that comes into this house sometimes.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. But
we talked off a lot.
Yeah, that's what I feel like we might have even gone past our time limit.
For real.
But to be honest, like we
got lost in the sauce.
keep on, you know, liking, subscribing, wherever you view this podcast. Just engage with us. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us the changes you want to make. Critique us fairly and critique us squarely, because we can take it definitely. Constructive criticism. So yeah, don't chat shit on the comments, but still, you know, tell us what you want. Tell us what you need. Tell us where we feel we can improve and what content you want to hear. And maybe you don't like the way I smile or not smile or lean back. Just say that shit, bro, but don't hate, bro.
Speaking of not saying shit on comment, I just remember, like, because I commented under this whole Meek Mill stuff, I'm like, man, we're in the soft era after this whole, do everybody's reacting. And the shit got like over like 200 likes, so, and bunch of people commenting on that. So some people are being like supporting me,
and then some people
are going at me. So some of them were even hopping in my like comments on my
and your DMs and your stuff.
Yeah, and just talking shit. Yeah, man, you know, boy, it's
keep
just
this
like
chatting shit to a minimum. I'm seeing your IP address, bro. We don't take
like,
play that.
But niggas don't even study that when you live real life, you can't even study the internet. Fuck shit.
Yeah, no, Agent T don't. Sometimes I do. I see your IP address. Don't chat shit, bro. You chat shit, you get banned.
For real.
Yeah, no. Don't do no violence over here. We're cool.
Yeah.
So but tell us how you feel in the comments, and you know, follow, like, subscribe, do what is needful. Yeah, peace. Namaste.